Hey y'all, what's going on? This your girl here live in the fed. I just had to make sure my mic is on. Um, so this topic here, I don't know how to go about addressing this topic. I'm just gonna have to be raw and unfiltered about this. So there's been a lot going on. Dr. Umar Johnson's daughter exposed him on the internet, right? She exposed him for not being there in her life growing up. And she outed him as a hypocrite. Now, if you guys have not seen the video, it's on Instagram. Okay, you can look it up on Instagram. She has a TikTok page. And when I tell you she went in, she went in. But there's a thing about this little girl. She disrespected a woman on the Instagram post because the lady shared the video, right? But here's the thing: if you do a video publicly, right, it's gonna get shared. People gonna see it either way it goes because I guess Hollywood Unlocked, they got access to the video. So the little girl was upset with this lady about it, and she kept antagonizing this woman, thinking that the woman was getting clout when the woman was just trying to help her out because she felt sorry. But anyway, let's get into it. So according to Dr. Umar Johnson's daughter, she said that he basically was not in her life growing up, and she was trying to reach out to him because she wanted to have a relationship with her sibling. But she could never get in touch with him. He never returned her phone call. He never tried to communicate with her or anything like that. So when Dr. Umar Johnson saw the video, right, he responded, but the way he responded was very condescending. Very condescending. He was like, baby girl, just get your clout. Somebody come for the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Baby girl, your mama put me on child support ever since you was in her womb. Or the day that you was born. Or whatever he said. And then he turned around and sent her a message and say, hey, I want to have lunch with you. And I want to sit down and talk to you and your mama so we all can discuss the issue and be on the same page. Now, you know, Dr. Umar always preached the importance of family, right? He talked about the importance of Black family, the importance of fathers being in the home, the importance of children having their parents around, having a healthy relationship, growing up in a healthy household. And a lot of stuff I agree with Umar on. But this right here is just got me more skeptical about him. That's why I say you take the message and leave the messenger. There's a concept that goes, you meet the Buddha, now you kill the Buddha. That means you get the message, but leave the messenger alone. Get rid of the messenger. So now the suspicion have grown because people starting to see that, okay, there's more to Dr. Umar Johnson than what he appears to be. Yeah, it's already bad enough people mad at you about the school situation. And now your daughter getting on here and she exposed you to be a hypocrite. I mean, but then this is the part that behooves me. This is the part that behooves me. He allegedly sends followers to antagonize this little girl. So you sent followers to antagonize her. That's not being a father. Because if you really wanted to build a relationship with your child, you would have called her and checked on her and see if she was okay. Because I mean, I don't know what's wrong with the little girl. After I seen how she went off on that lady, cussing her out and called her all kind of names in the book, and saying the lady was doing stuff for clout when the woman was trying to help her out. by getting her video being spread to other platforms, right? So her voice can be heard. I mean, my goodness. I don't know what's going on. And if you saw the little girl, she looked just like Dr. Umar. She looked just like him. Eyes and everything. She looked just like him. The only thing is she's a light-skinned version of him, but she looked just like her daddy. So she pointed out that he was a hypocrite. Yeah. And see, the foundation of the community starts at home. And he always preach about that, right? But he's not building that foundation with his daughter. And that's really sad. You're a well-known psychologist, right, in the black community, but you don't try to build a relationship with your own child. Here is your child trying to reach out to you, want to communicate with you, want to just tell you how everything's going in her life, and you don't want to have anything to do with her. You basically ignore her phone calls. You don't show up, you don't come around. Then you want to know why people don't want to listen to what you got to say. Your child is the most important thing in your life. Your children are the most important part of you. Whether you have a relationship with a mom or not, if your children reaching out to you and they want to have a communication and want to build a relationship, don't dismiss them. Make time for them because your children need you. And one day you're going to need your children. One day you're going to need your children. I don't care how famous and sophisticated you are. And it's so ironic you got on Nick Cannon's show and talk about how he's creating broken homes because he had multiple women pregnant all at once. You created, wait a minute. So you tell this man that he's creating broken homes, right? But look at what you're doing. You're doing the same thing. You create that broken home. You create a broken relationship. And this child is broken. Now, I don't know her whole backstory. I don't know what she been through, but just looking at this kid is broken. And this kid is crying out for her father. And you get on this internet being egotistical. Excuse me, you get on this internet being egotistical, right? And act like you just basically disregard her. You disregard her, you don't even care. And that's very sad and that's very telling. And it's gonna get to a point where you're gonna lose a lot of support. Brother Umar Johnson, you're going to lose a lot of support. And you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You preach about black fathers being around their kids, they need to be there to support their kids or whatnot, but you're not doing it. You're not following through. And it shows. You know, I really want to get into this and I'm gonna be straight up about this. A lot of children are not being born out of love. They're being born out of brokenness. Again, a lot of children are not being born out of love. They are being born out of brokenness. These kids are being born out of brokenness. They being born into a broken family. Then when they get out here, you want to know why they get out here into this world looking for love in the wrong places or looking for acceptance, looking for a foundation because they're not getting it at home. And to the people that follow Umar Johnson, y'all should be mad at him. Y'all should be criticizing his ass. Y'all should be getting in his goddamn ass and say, hey, bruh, you know, especially you brothers out there that say, hey, I'm our brother's keeper. Y'all should be getting his ass and say, hey, bruh, Bro, I don't know what you got going on, but bro, you need to work on that. You need to get your ass off this internet and go and try to fix that relationship with your daughter. Because you are the reason why she had views about men. Because if she see that her daddy ain't shit and her daddy don't give a fuck about her, then she gonna have that attitude that these men out here ain't shit either. You supposed to be the example. You supposed to be able to teach her, to educate her about life. You supposed to be able to set the discipline. You supposed to be able to protect her. So when she do get into this world, she'll know what to expect. She can say, hey, my father was there. My father and I had a conversation. My father taught me these things. A lot of girls, they don't know what to really look for in a relationship. Why? Because a lot of them don't have fathers coming around. Yes, we can talk about science all day and during the evolution time periods when, men were going around procreating, yada, yada, yada. But when we dealing with it from a cultural standpoint, right, we have to understand that it is very important to have both parents in the household, because that's going to show the child how healthy the relationship is. That child, especially if they grow up in a healthy household, right? If they grew up in a very healthy household, do you know that will help them to be more productive? Because not only that, they have a support system. They have somebody they can come home to. You know what I'm saying? They have somebody they can talk to. A lot of us grew up in broken environments. And y'all don't realize that when your child grows up in a broken household, that does a lot to their mental state. It puts a lot of stress on them. It causes them to become frustrated. It causes them to be angry. Y'all don't realize that when you have these high divorce rates, when parents cannot get along, when parents constantly fighting with each other all the time, that does something to the child's psychology. Children get stressed out too. Children become hurt behind parents' bad relationship. Children get depressed. Childhood depression is real. Childhood depression is real. And what you don't realize, you play a part in your own child's depression, brother Umar. You failed your child. You failed your child miserably. Then you want to know why your kids can't respect you. Why your kids don't want to talk to you. The only time you want to reach out to your kids is now all of a sudden you need help. Now all of a sudden you need them to come and help you pay the bills or something, or take you to the grocery store, or pick something up for you. But where were you at when they need you to come around? Where were you at when they just wanted you to be there at their school events, be at their graduation? Where were you at? But now all of a sudden you want to come around and ask your kids for money as if they the ATM machine. And don't get me started on these parents out here that's using their children as lottery tickets. See their kid as a paycheck, not even looking at them or value them as a human being, but see dollar signs. Don't get me started on the fact that you got the golden child and you got the child that's a scapegoat. So the golden child is expected to do everything and be on top of the world, right? And if the moment that he or she falls down or decide that this is not what they want to do, then they're looked down upon. And then the scapegoat child, oh, that child get blamed for every single thing. Everything in the world. That child is going to become an outcast. That's one thing I can't stand. I can't stand when you treat one child better than you treat the other one. I can't stand that with a passion. If you gonna love your kids, love them fairly. Treat them fairly. Don't treat one child better than the other child. Because now you create a sibling rivalry. And they go against each other because there's envy involved. And one parent acknowledge this kid over here, but doesn't take consideration of this other one. And now they both will fight for your attention, your love. I remember being depressed as a child. Me too. Let me tell you something. Me too. I grew up being depressed as a child. And I don't really talk about that, but yeah. I went through childhood depression. I used to get upset seeing other kids with their mamas or with their daddies, and I was with my grandma. I remember being in elementary school, kids used to ask me all the time, hey, where's your mama at? And I'd be like, I don't know, because at that time I didn't know my mother. I didn't get a chance to meet my mom until I was 11. But other than that, I didn't know anything about my mom. I didn't know where she was. All I knew is I had a grandmother. And my father was incarcerated. And then as I got older, whew, I didn't have the best relationship with both of my parents. Because I had one parent that had a drug addiction. Then I had another parent that was very, what's the term I want to use? I mean, this parent worked, don't get me wrong, this parent was a hard-working parent, but this parent was very, I guess, naive. Very naive and condescending. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love my other parent. I still love my father, but we just don't have the best relationship. And I thought when my mother passed away that it would bring us closer, but not quite. Not quite. Just like boys need their father, girls need their fathers too. You know, and I don't think we discussed that enough on how important it is for a father to be with his daughters. You know, it really pains me to see that this little girl is going through what she's dealing with. Cause deep down, she really want to have a relationship with her dad, but it seems like her dad is not giving her a chance because he has this anger towards her mother. And people, stop weaponizing your kids. Stop using your kids as a weapon against the other parent. Stop punishing your kid for what that other parent has done. Because it's not that kid's fault because you can't get along with the other parent. And I felt that way. because my mother and father couldn't get along with each other. And I felt like I was being penalized by my dad because of what my mother felt about him and what she said about him. And there was other things that went on in our relationship, which I really won't go into a whole lot of detail on. It's a whole lot to talk about. There'll be another day. But yeah, I felt like I was being penalized by my own father because of what my mother said about him and how my mother felt about him. And I was caught up in the middle of the shenanigan. You know what I'm saying? I was caught up in the middle of the BS. And like I say, it's a whole lot to my story. But that's something I have to talk about another day. But I can understand how this little girl feels. I can understand how she feels. I know how it feels to be broken because I've been in that space. I know how it feels to feel like you're an outcast because I've been in that space. I know how it feels when you feel like one parent don't love you or one parent becomes envy because you have a better relationship with the other parent. But then I also know how it feels like when you don't have a relationship with both of your parents. If you don't have a relationship with both of your parents, you might as well just say you don't have parents. That's an abandonment issue right there. You feel like you abandoned. You feel like you was a mistake. You was unwanted. Y'all don't realize that shit really hurts. Although I don't like the fact how that little girl came off at this lady on Instagram, but I do feel her pain. I feel her pain. Because for a long time, she needed her father, but her father was too busy focusing on everything else. Her father was too busy focusing on himself and not focus on his relationship with his daughter. But he claimed to be a psychologist at that. And just imagine you sitting back at home watching your dad doing interviews, talking about black families, talking about broken homes, relationships, but you don't get that from him. But he portrayed to be one way on TV to the public, but behind closed doors, he's not that person. You'll feel some level of betrayal. You will feel some level of betrayal. Again, don't get me wrong, Dr. Umar Johnson put out great information, right? He said a lot of great things that I can agree with him on. I can agree with him 80%. Now, there's 20% of stuff that I disagree with him with, but 80% I agree with him on, right? But overall, this right here, not having a relationship with your own damn child, and you talking about the importance of black family, this, that, and the other, especially dealing with kids, that hurts. That hurts a child. That's a slap to the child's face. She's sitting there like, damn, you over here doing interviews with people and telling people about how they creating broken homes and how you talking about the importance of family, but you ain't spending no time with me. But look what you're doing. You're doing the same thing to me. You're the prince of parental absence. You might as well call him that. Might as well call him that. If I was Brother Umar Johnson, I would be embarrassed. As a parent, I would have been embarrassed if my kid called me out on my shenanigan. I would be embarrassed. I'll probably go somewhere and cry. And that's how he should be. He should be embarrassed as a parent. You sit up here and like the girl said, you a fraud and you a hypocrite. You preach great information. Don't get me wrong. You do great lectures, but you a fraud, bruh. So again, you gotta learn how to take the message, but leave the messenger alone. Don't get attached to the messenger because you never know what the hell you're gonna find out about the messenger. You could take the message, but you leave the messenger alone. You know, it kind of made me think about that Will Smith episode on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when his father wasn't around him since he was 5 years old. He missed 14 years of his life. And all of a sudden he comes back around. But he didn't come back around for the right reason. And at the end, towards the end of the episode, right, he was getting ready to leave. And Uncle Phil called him out. Uncle Phil called him out. And him and Uncle Phil was going back and forth. And Uncle Phil said, hey, don't give me that excuse. Because I've been there. And when Will came in the living room, right, Will was like, hey, Dad, let's go. And he was like, hey, well, son, I had to change a plan. And he said, oh, okay. But Will knew that his dad was going to come up with another excuse. And as soon as his father walked out, Uncle Phil looked at him with remorse and said, hey, it's okay. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to be angry. And Will didn't want to show that anger. He wanted to forgive his father, but he didn't want to show the anger. But at the end, he broke down and cried to Uncle Phil. And he had a gift for his father. It was a statue of a child sitting on his daddy's lap. And he asked Uncle Phil, how come he don't want me? So this is what I'm looking at when I'm listening to the Umar Johnson situation and his daughter's relationship. She thinking to herself, how come my dad don't want me? How come my dad don't want to fuck with me? It's important to pay attention to your child. It ain't about white folks telling us he's been a fraud for years, bruh. It ain't about that. People in the black community been saying that too. Okay? So white folks was not the only one that was saying that, partner. It's important to put your kids first. You got to show that relationship with your child. And hopefully one day, hopefully, that these two can sit down and have a father and daughter's conversation and bridge those gaps. I hope one day that it will happen. I hope so. Because this girl deserves to have a dad. She deserved that. At least give her that while you still here and while she's still here. Because you never know what's going to happen to neither one of y'all. You never know what's going to happen. Life is not guaranteed to us all. Life is short. So build that relationship with your kids while you have a chance. Life is short. You don't know what's going to happen to you. And you don't know what's going to happen to them. You don't know what's going to happen to you as a parent, and you don't know what's going to happen to your kids. And there's people right now regretting, wish they would have had a relationship with their own children. And there's children right now that wish they would have had a chance to get to know their parents before their parents had passed away. You know, it's sad that everything got to come to the public's eye when this could have been taken care of behind closed doors. It's sad that the public got to know all the information. And then you get on these blogs, right, that really don't give a damn about you or him. They don't give a damn about this little girl or Umar Johnson. They just looking at it as a hot topic. They looking at it, oh, here come the controversy. Somebody being exposed. So now it's going to get more views. I wouldn't be surprised if Tasha K reached out to this little girl right now and put her on the platform. I wouldn't be surprised if Jason Lee put her on the platform. I wouldn't be surprised if Breakfast Club did the donkey of the day about Umar Johnson. Because that's what they do. They make a living off of controversy. They make a living off of drama. That's what get their views up. They're not caring about the parents. They're not caring about Umar Johnson. They're not caring about that little girl. They caring about the drama. They're caring about the controversy. As long as they get the controversy, that's all that matters. These platforms feed off of negativity more than they feed off of positivity. Again, these platforms, these major platforms, feed off of negativity more than they do off of positivity. So they not going to be looking at Umar as someone who's a psychologist, someone who's a Pan-Africanist. Nope. They going to look at him as a fraud, as a deadbeat father. As a person who has a bad relationship with his children. And now they're going to dig up more information about him and throw it in his face. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I hate to say it's embarrassing. There are too many variables with this. Get both sides of the story. Her mother got married when that young girl was a toddler from reports. Okay, understandable. Understandable her mother got married, but she still was longing for the relationship with her father. That's what y'all fail to understand. Yes, her mother may have got married, but she still wanted the relationship with her dad, whether her mother was married or not. She made the attempt to reach out to her father herself. She called this man. She texted this man, and this man did not return her phone call. This man did not even reach out to her. She made the attempt. That little girl saying what her mama told her. Well, obviously, she also stated that she reached out to her daddy. But that's more to the story, bruh. That's more to the story. This little girl, she is 22 years old. Okay. She reached, she's a grown woman. She's a young woman. She reached out to her father. She made the attempt to try to build a relationship with her dad. Okay. That's the part that you failed to realize, Lenny. She made the attempt to reach out to her father, despite what her mother had to say, despite how her mother felt about her dad. Okay. She made the attempt. He did not reach back out to her. He didn't even try to build a relationship with her. She was trying to build a relationship with him. And she wanted to know where her sibling was at because she wanted to meet his other kids. Because she says she's the oldest on her mama's side. And she never got a chance to meet her sibling on her dad's side. That's the part that you failed to understand. This is the part that y'all failed to see. So y'all can sit up here and blame the mama all day. That's very easy to blame the mama. We know women do conniving things. We get it. We know that women do conniving stuff. We know that women can weaponize their children. Okay? We know that women will keep the children away from their fathers. We get that. But we also know that kids will try to build relationship with their parent, with their dads, and then their dads don't follow through. That's the part that y'all fail to talk about. It's always so easy to talk about what the mother doing, but y'all don't want to talk about the father not following through with their relationship with their kids. You're not talking about how the father don't want to spend time with their children when their children trying to make the attempt to do so. That's the part that people don't want to have a conversation about. So it's always easy to blame the mother for every little thing, but it's not easy to look at the father playing a part in not stepping in and playing his role as a parent as far as trying to build that relationship with the kid when the kid is making the attempt on their own to interact with their other half and trying to be around so they can get a chance to meet their other family members. Okay, bro, you can call it what you want. You know, I'm not gonna argue about that. I mean, I stand on it. I said what I said. You can say what you want to say. I'm not gonna argue about it, but I'm not gonna change my position on it. Okay? Because I see both sides. You just dealing with one side of the issue. You just focusing on the mother and you're not focusing on the father. You want to place all the blame on the mother and you're not looking at the daughter and the father relationship. You're not looking at the fact that the daughter is making the attempt to build a relationship with her father. So I'm gonna let you have it. Okay? I'm gonna let you have it with your comment. Exactly. So do dads who are the custodial parents. This is a human being thing, not a gender thing. Exactly. It's not. But see, we always make everything about gender. Gender. We always gotta blame the male or we gotta just blame the female. We not looking at both sides of the spectrum. We not looking at both sides of the issue. As far as my concern, both of them have played a part in this. Both of them have played a part in destroying this little girl. Her mother failed her in a way by not allowing her father to be around, and he has failed her by not following through with her when she was trying to contact him. Okay, so I look at it as both sides of an issue. So we can't just place the blame on the mother, and we just can't place the blame on Dr. Umar Johnson. We have to look at both parents. Gotta be responsible for this. Somebody said maybe, just maybe, her mother was the primary factor of them not seeing each other. Dr. Umar definitely paid child support, but her stepdad helped raise her. Okay, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with the stepdaddy raising her. Okay, brother Umar Johnson paid child support. But you're still not looking at the fact that this girl is trying to build a relationship with her father. That's the part that y'all fail to see. Y'all keep focusing on the mama, mama, mama. But y'all not looking at the fact that this little girl stated out her own mouth that she was trying to keep in touch with her dad for years. Okay. Y'all keep focusing on mama, but y'all not focusing on how she was trying to build a relationship with her father. Yeah, regardless of the fact that she had a stepdad, and there ain't nothing wrong with having a step parent around. But you're gonna always want to have your biological parents there as well. So it's cool when you have your step parents, but it's nothing like having your biological parent there. It's nothing like having your biological parent. It's nothing wrong with having a step parent or a adoptive parent, but you're gonna always want your biological parent around. You're gonna always want to know what it's like to have your biological family. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for coming through. Thank you. Thank you for coming through. And y'all, we really got to get into psychology. We got to get into studying psychology. Spirituality is cool. Don't get me wrong. But psychology and sociology is needed. This is why we have to get into this. This is why people like Dr. Amos Wilson always talked about the importance of Black children being educated, having a productive household, etc. This is why psychology is the most important thing that we need in our community. Sociology is also needed in our community. Dr. Johnson needs to handle his business and handle his personal. I agree. He needs to. He needs to. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't take your daughter to go to the internet and tell the world how she was trying to reach out to you. And then she had to show the text messages where now all of a sudden you want to have a relationship with her when she was trying to do that for the longest. We really don't know the if or the why as far as the mom. Daughter didn't say that her mom dad kept her away from her dad. We do not know the whole story yet. We don't know the whole story, but according to Brother Umar Johnson, he was paying child support and the mother would not let him come around his daughter. But my thing is, if your daughter is giving you the opportunity to be there in her life, you as the parent should take advantage of that. Do not penalize her because of her mother. If your daughter is giving you the opportunity to be there in her life, to play a role as a parent, you as the parent should not penalize her because of her mother or because of the relationship that you had with her mother. You should not penalize her for that. That is not her fault. It's not her fault that you and the mother could not get along with each other. It is not her fault. She happened to be born into the madness. Okay? She's giving you the opportunity as a parent to step in, to be in her life, to be active. And that's something that should matter to you the most. That your kid, you should be happy. You should be grateful that you got a kid that reaching out to you and trying to build a relationship. You should be grateful for that as a parent. You should be grateful for that. That is a blessing because there are parents who. Okay, my bad, y'all. My bad, my bad. My mic had went out. I had got another one. All right. But yeah, your child is reaching out to you to let you know that you are as important to her as her mother is. And that should be a blessing. Do not punish your child or your children because of their mother transgression. Do not punish your kids because of their mother's attitude towards you. If they making the attempt to have a relationship with you, take that as an opportunity. This little girl, 22 years old, take that as an opportunity to just sit down and have a relationship with her. And I feel like that's what Dr. Umar Johnson is doing, in my opinion. In my opinion. I feel like he's penalizing this young lady because of her mother. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I feel like he penalizing this young lady because of her mother. Don't do that. Do not do it, man. Stop doing that shit. I I know that I'm very passionate, and I'm very passionate about this because this kind of hit close to home for me. This kind of hit close to home. And for those of you that went over there, attacked that little girl, shame on y'all motherfucking asses. If he did send his followers to go over there and attack her, verbally attack her, shame on y'all motherfuckers. Y'all full of shit. Y'all full of shit. Y'all ain't about shit. Cause for anything, why in the fuck would you attack a goddamn child? And you don't even know the whole fucking story. You don't know, you wasn't even there. But because y'all want to sit here and follow a man and he tells y'all to go after this little girl, y'all full of shit. Instead of hearing her side of the story and listen to what's going on, y'all attacking this little girl. And y'all full of shit for that. Y'all fucking wrong for that shit. Y'all low down for that. Y'all low down as hell, man. And it says a lot about you guys. It says a lot about y'all behavior. It says a lot about y'all mentality, man. It says a lot about you as the individuals. You are correct. He stated years ago that the mother wouldn't let him see his child unless the grandmother was present. And that's sad. But yeah, y'all attacking a kid because she calling out her father. That says a lot about y'all character, man, as a community. For anything, y'all should be trying to support this little girl. Y'all should be trying to say, hey, somebody need to reach out to Brother Umar Johnson so there could be some type of intervention going on. And as I stated before, somebody in the community, some of the brothers need to reach out to him and say, hey, bruh, we need to have a conversation. We need you to come into the circle and we need to talk as men because we need to find out what's going on. What are you doing? It ain't about assassinating his character, but come on, bruh. Come on. You put yourself out there. You really put yourself out there. You did it to yourself. She's younger than me, sweetheart. The reason why I call her a little girl because she's way younger than me. I'm in my 30s. All right. I'm 35 years old. So in my mind, yes, she is a little girl, although she's a young lady. But to me, she's a little girl. I have nieces around her age. Okay. He won't stop talking for anyone to talk. He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to sit down with the elders. I ain't talking about just brothers his age group. He needs to sit down with some elders. He needs to sit down with some elders. He needs somebody like James Small or Dr. Naeem Akbar, Wade Noble. He need those three guys to sit down and have a conversation with him and get some shit straightened out with his ass. That's what he need. He need those type of elders, those respected elders to sit down and say, "Hey, bro, what's going on, man? What's happening? We gotta talk about this, man." So, I mean, he needs to sit down with Wade Noble, Dr. Naeem Akbar, Dr. James Small. They need to sit down and have a conversation with him. If they gotta knock some sense into him, they need to do so. His daughter has now said that she found her sister and will now build a relationship with her moving forward. I hope she do. I hope she do have a relationship with her. I hope she get a chance to be around her. I really hope so. And I really like the fact that she reaching out because hell, even siblings, especially on daddy's side of the family, don't get me started on that. But the siblings on daddy's side don't want to have a relationship with each other. The siblings on daddy's side don't want to have a relationship with each other. I'll put this person on timeout. Yeah, I'm trying to put your ass on timeout. Hold on. Oh no. There's some trolls in here, so let me put some of these trolls on timeout. Okay. But anyways, anywho, yeah. So yeah, you got siblings who don't want to have a relationship with their sibling on their dad's side of the family, and that's quite sad. That's very common. They'll have a close relationship with the siblings on the mother side, but when it comes to the daddy side of the family, nah. So it's a beautiful thing that she's really reaching out. It is beautiful that she reaching out and she wants to be a part of her sister's life. Because I think she was saying she want to reach out to her sister. I'm glad that she was able to do that. I'm glad. She had to cry out to the internet to get result because Papa Smurf wouldn't answer the phone. Hmm. And why he gotta use that term? Why it gotta be Papa Smurf? Why? Why you gotta be Papa Smurf and Mama Smurf? Why? Why? Oh man. Yeah, but y'all build a relationship with your kids, man. It's important because you never know what's gonna happen to them. You know what I'm saying? And I know that every parent is not going to do it, and I know every child is not going to do it as well. But I'm encouraging you guys, if you have children and your children trying to reach out to you, make yourself available for them. Don't keep denying them because one day you're going to need your kids. When you get older, you're going to need them around. You're going to wish they was around you to take care of you, to make sure they come and visit you at the hospital. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage parents to do that. Please make time for your kids. If they trying to reach out to you, make yourself available as a parent. Stop disowning your kid. Stop ignoring them. And stop weaponizing your children. Stop punishing your children because of the other parents. Stop doing that. Y'all we gotta stop that shit in our community. Well, you know what? I don't even know why I don't know why I'm saying it because it ain't gonna stop. It's gonna be a continuing cycle, but somebody gonna have to break the cycle. Somebody gonna have to break the damn cycle. Somebody gonna have to break the cycle, man. But this is the foundation of a community: man, woman, and child. And if you don't have the man, woman, and child, you don't have a community. Again, the primary foundation is man, woman, and child. It's already bad enough that there is conflict in the relationship between black men and women. You got black men and women on social media beefing with each other. The gender wars. Why? I don't know. The gender wars. The gender wars is crazy. It's out of control now. You know, and I'm gonna also say this, and y'all finna be mad when I'm about to say. We really don't have a black community. We really don't have a black community. We don't really have a community because we're just so damn broken to the point that we can't have a community. The community that we once knew has died a long time ago. The community that we once knew died a long time ago. We really don't have a community. We don't. The community is so broken. Now, there's people that's trying to repair it, but overall, we don't have a community. We don't have no community. Again, we don't have a community. The community that we once knew died a long time ago. And in my opinion, the community died when the crack cocaine hit the environment. Once the crack cocaine came into our community, it was a done deal. it was a done deal because that broke up a lot of families. That really broke up a lot of families. That damaged a lot of families. Family member end up being on drugs more. A lot of people end up getting locked up. And then you had a lot of loved ones that died. You had a lot of loved ones that died. So when the crack cocaine came into our community, that was a done deal. That was a done deal for us. That was a done deal for the black family. So now what you're looking at is people trying to repair the damage. So we don't have that thriving black community anymore. Nope. We don't have that thriving black community. We don't have we don't have that community. That community is gone bye-bye. You have a broken home. You have broken individuals. You have children that is not being born out of love, but being born into a broken environment. Again, you have children that is not being born out of love, but they are being born into a broken environment. Somebody put some dads can't hang with their kids. Some dads have beef in the hood. It's evidence with how the dad and the daughter were shot at the. Oh yeah, and you have a point there too. Some fathers can't be around their kids. Yeah, you're right. Some can't be around because they can't go to certain areas where the child is living at due to a conflict or if they have ops or whatever. Yeah, we saw that situation. We heard about the situation that happened in Texas. Here's a father that was trying to spend time with his daughter, and he ended up getting executed. And his daughter also got executed in Texas. A young father at that. So there you do have a point. But even with this statement alone, brother, it goes to show how broken our community is. Our community is so damn broken that sometimes the father can't even go in certain neighborhoods because he has ops. And because he has ops, he can't spend time with the kids the way he wants to. That's how messed up our community is. Until recently, nobody knew Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar Johnson did mention his daughters. He mentioned them several times during his lecture. I think he had mentioned he had 3 daughters, if I'm not mistaken, or 2. Thought she followed in his footsteps in education, but she is with her mom requesting 4K to 10K for interviews. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. And like I say, I'm not surprised I wouldn't be surprised if she go on Tasha K platform. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if she goes on Hollywood Unlocked. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, man. That was devastating to the community. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. The crack cocaine era was highly devastated. You had children that was fucked up behind it. I came from a generation of the crack cocaine era. Okay. I was born around that time period when it was taking place. A lot of children was fucked up behind it. They mamas on drugs, aunties on drugs, uncles, multiple shootouts. Come on now. Police riding down up on the block, locking folks up. Multiple trap houses or dope houses, crack houses. Man, listen. You got cities in Americas, in the black community in Americas, that are so dilapidated. They are so dilapidated. You would think they in a third world country. You would think they in another country. You got cities in America right now that look like a third world country where there's a strong black population, but it's in terrible condition. Yeah, but our community is far gone. Our community is far gone, man. It's far gone. It's far gone. Come on, put family business is not for the internet. I agree. It shouldn't be for the internet, but unfortunately, people feel like this is the only way they can get their voice heard. People feel like this is the only way they can get their voice heard by putting family business on the internet. Nowadays, nothing is a secret anymore. Nothing is a secret. And sometimes you may have to put your family out there, especially if they did something that was very heinous and they violated somebody that was innocent. You may have to put them out there. But, nowadays, nothing is a secret no more. Social media has become the hub for every and anything. All the stuff that takes place behind closed doors is being shown to the public eye. You can go on Facebook right now, and you'll see all kinds of chaos going on with family members, with people from the streets, with law enforcement, right? You can just go on Facebook and you'll find a lot. You can go on Instagram, you can go on YouTube, you can go on TikTok. You ain't even gotta watch it on the news because it's gonna get to these social media platforms before it hits the news. Again, it's gonna go on the social media platforms before it hits the news. Yep. All right, you guys. But I thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I got to get ready to get off of here. So I've been on here long enough. And I appreciate you guys in the comment section. Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you guys for tuning in. And shout out to you, Master Joshua. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming through, brother. I appreciate this dialogue. This is a healthy dialogue, and this is something that we need to have a conversation about as a people. These one of the things that we have to really touch on. So I thank you guys for coming through. And so with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Shout out to everybody. And for those of you that celebrate Ramadan, Ramadan Mubarak for y'all. I hope you guys had a great Ramadan. For those of you that are celebrating Ramadan, for those of you that's not, please keep your mouth closed, okay? Leave them alone. Let these people celebrate. Let these people enjoy their Ramadan. But anyways, you all have a wonderful evening, a wonderful day, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, peace and power elevation be to all of you. This your girl, Tiffany, and I'm out.